Welcome back, guys, and we have returned after a little break for Easter. We were celebrating. It was a two-pronged celebration where we were celebrating both Easter and, more importantly, the Steam Showdown victory, of course. Thank you very much, everyone who commented on that and liked and stuff. Because I was surprised. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of people who have left congratulations and stuff, which is always very nice to read and see and stuff. So. Again, thank you very much, but today we are back and we're going to be here with a interesting idea. It's not something I've never really done before, but it's... I'll give the background. It's kind of that stage of the season. We're coming to the end. We already know what's going to be in the next expansion, and it's coming to the point where I don't really feel like brewing anymore. There's decks I haven't done. I haven't done Revolt. I haven't done this. I haven't done that, and all that good stuff. But I just don't really feel like doing it because right now, every time I build a deck, I just go, well, if I just wait until this deck, if I save this deck till I'm on Ket, then I can use all these upgrades to go into it and stuff. So I'm kind of stuck in this Jekyll and Hyde moment at the minute where, if you see me on the ladder, you're gonna see either one of two Nighthawks. You're either gonna see Nighthawk number 1, who is just playing one of his fun brews, where either like mono green or something like that, where I'm just having fun, or I'll joke around and stuff, and then everything will be nice and pleasant. But then there's the darker side to Nighthawk, where I realise I've got a week to reach rank 40, and yeah, I'll be grinding the ladder with some pretty disgusting decks in the coming days. So you could be coming up against one or two of them, depending on whether I'm recording a video or not. But what that means is if you see me running a vehicle deck or a snake deck or something, assume I am calling you every name under the sun, which I cannot repeat on YouTube. Believe me, if you beat me, I'm calling you names that frankly cannot be repeated. But anyway, we'll jump into today's video, which is what I'm calling the Forgotten Brews. I have 3 decks here. Mono Blue Eldrazi, Black White Midrange, Angel Midrange I guess, and Bant Turbo Fog. Now these are my 3 decks which I have brewed. I'm relatively happy with where they are, but they never quite made it for a decent video, so I never really got around to uploading with them. So I'm going to be playing a game with each of these 3 decks, and we'll be talking about what I liked and what I didn't like about them, and other reasons like that. But I think we will start off with the Black-White midrange, Angel midrange. Now this deck, in theory, I was very surprised I didn't get a video out of this deck. I did try several times to get a decent match out of it. It's just the deck was never really cooperating with me. I never really got like a fun game. It just felt like I was either mana screwed, or it just felt like my opponents were just equally screwed over. It just never really felt like I was personally I was getting bored by like game 3 by myself playing this deck for some reason, and hopefully that's not the case today, but we will see. This hand is so I can't keep this. I refuse to keep this. I should have kept this. This'll do. But yeah, it never really, just the draws always felt awkward, and it wasn't really as fun as I was expecting. I mean, I'm running Bruna, 2 Brunas, I'm running Exquisite Archangel, and I'm running Gisela and all that good stuff. It just never really came to make quite competitive enough. I got absolutely murdered by a Revolt deck by a friend, mostly Entropy. He had double aid from the Cowl, and it was just murdering me. It was absolutely hilarious to watch, and that was the only fun game I've had with this deck, really. And I even lost that game, so it's a sign. I mean, all this hand looks acceptable. We have a 2-3-4 here with the Kalitis and the Anguish Domakion, and our opponent seems to be on green-black. Life crosses Bestiary. Is that worth killing? He does draw an extra card. This matchup's going to be really grindy. We'll see what we draw. I think I do snap off killing that thing. It's an extra card a turn, it scries them. This matchup's not going to be over quickly. I think it's relevant enough to just done. Take the 3 life. I mean, we have great 4-drops coming down anyway. Gisela, Kalitis, and I think that's right. If this matchup becomes a grind fest, then that thing will draw him like 10 cards over a turn. And there's a snake. We do run plenty of removal in this deck, as I'm sure you can imagine. But this is a case of whether we draw it. And I'm going to lead with Gisela over Cletus. Yeah, I'm going to lead with Gisela over Cletus because if she dies, we can bring her back with stuff like Bruna and... well, I mean, I guess you'd need like double removal spell, get through the Selfless Spirit, or Grasp of Darkness. He's attacking. I mean, am I going to block? I've got the Selfless Spirit. I'll block. I'll bite. Blossom Defense. Yeah, I mean, I traded Selfless Spirit for a Blossom Defense. All my removals targeted anyway, so he's pretty much going to get 2 for 1 anyway. And this way we get him to use his green mana, which he's kind of starved on, plus we keep a Gisela around. Yeah, I'm fine with that trade. I'm fine with that. Also get to smack our opponent for another 4 life here. Folly is good, but I think Cletus is just better. And then our opponents basically can't race at that point. And if we draw like a removal spell, we can just go nuts. So yeah. Just the slamming the mythics and the rares. We haven't played a card that is less than rare at the minute, which is always a good sign for a deck being powerful. We do run some cheeky uncommons and commons though. 4 Read the Bones in this deck for situations exactly like this. I started off with 2, wasn't enough, went up to 3. Still felt like I could use the 4th. The life gain can hurt, but it's just so important to draw extra cards in this deck, otherwise you just get in situations where you just got an empty hand, which is never good. Your opponent opts against attacking with the Aether Sphere Harvester, which I think's right. The question is, what are they debating here? Double black, I mean Grasp would just kill it anyway, so yeah. Angel of Innovation is a very, very good draw here. It's in fact probably a fantastic draw. Question is, do we put the counters on the Angel or make the 2/2s? I always like going wide with Angel. I really do. And this means we actually have a double attack here, I think. I mean, we definitely attack with the Angel to start off with, because that thing is now 5 power. He has 3... I mean, he needs to double block and then he loses and we get a zombie, so yeah, we'll attack with both. Yeah, he takes 9. That's a very bold block there. I mean, no blocks there. I guess he does have the lifelink with the Aether Sphere Harvester. So if we've got something like Verdurous Gearhulk on that thing, then maybe he gets back into this game. But we are sitting quite comfortable on 34 life, and that is black-white. In a nutshell, play a bunch of mid-range. Play a bunch of mid-rangey bombs, and then profit. I mean, our draw is pretty disgusting. Whenever you go and... what did we go there? We went... 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. That was very going to be very difficult for our opponent to beat. But get a bunch of quests. Amonkhet coming on the 26th. Gotta get that grind on. So that was black-white. Let's move on to Turbofog. Let's get Turbofog out of the way. Turbofog. I had an unhealthy obsession with this deck at one point in the season. But the problem with Turbofog is it suffers kind of a double-edged sword in that the fact that tutelage is so vulnerable right now. Everyone's running Rexage for vehicles. So if you lose your tutelage, things become miserable. And number 2 is that the games tend to go on a bit of a while, which leads to I had a video with this deck where I played one match and it was 35 minutes long. And it was not really a good game. Opponent left. Depending on our hand, we'll leave or we'll stick. It depends. I mean, screw it. We're here for fun. Our opponent's got a real deck. If our opponent gets mana screwed, we'll just leave. But frankly, like I said, Jekyll and Hyde. I've never been to 40 yet this season. That's all I'm going to say. And our opponent's playing ramp, so this should be fairly interesting. But yeah, so I had one match, and I was like, I said I got bored with I should have played my lands in a different order, I think. But I said I got bored with black-white, but really you should have seen this video. This 30-minute video. I kid you not, I just stopped talking about halfway through because I was just sitting there like, okay, I need to draw tutelage. My opponent has no board. We're just passing to each other. It was hell on earth. But we have the turn 3 tutelage. If our opponent Rex Sages me, I may just leave and then try and find a more competitive game, because this hand is not looking perfect. Our opponent gets minus screwed, but this should be over quickly. Maybe they're mono green. But then why they want to involve in wilds? But many questions. All will be answered with this upcoming mill. But yeah, it's quite an interesting deck, this one. That doesn't really answer much. It's quite an interesting deck because I'm trying to think. It's really hard to think, you know. It's quite an interesting deck because we're very artifact based in this deck. I run renegade maps. I run implements, I think, and it's run stuff like reverse engineer. It's kind of that version of Turbo Mill rather than, you know, some of the other ways, which is quite an interesting take on the thing. We run Dynavolt Tower as well. It's another artifact that benefits. I think our opponent is mono green, but then I'm really worried for why they're running Evolving Wilds. I guess landfall triggers. Have we drawn anything but land? All is not lost though. We can now loot with our tutelage, which is always where you want to be. And we'll keep our renegade map around. See no reason to cast it into the abyss, because like I said, I run some improvised spells here and there. So I guess we'll pay attention to what we'll keep milling. Yeah, he's mono green. Evolving Wilds plus Primal Bellow. I don't know. I can't complain too much. It just seems unworth it to me. I'd rather just run different lands. I mean, this in theory should be a very good matchup if he doesn't find his Rex Sages. And that's another thing with Turbo Fog, which is why I never really got a video with it, is that the matches tend to be either you can't lose or you can't win. If your opponent has enchantment removal, you really can't win this deck. It's that simple. And at the same time, if your opponent is running no enchantment removal, you really can't lose. I mean, I know right now it looks a bit shaky, but this deck runs 8 fogs and so much card draw, it's like statistically impossible to not draw into a fog whenever you need it, so like that's generally it. That's generally the way the deck rolls. Just keep trucking. Eventually we will draw double Alchemist File and we can see this deck start to shine, basically. See if we can find a reverse engineer. There's another fog. Hit 6 cards there. It's against mono green. I'm not gonna. Our opponent got lucky. Oh, we also run Glint-esque Crane, which is now a lot better because we're so many artifact based. And we'll pass the turn back. So like now we've got 2 fogs. We have like 6 draws. It's gonna be very hard for our opponent to win unless they have said removal. Let's see what we hit actually. There's a Nissa. There's 1 Rex Sage, so we did get lucky. That's quite a land pocket now looking back. 2 Rex Sages actually. Yeah, we got extremely lucky. Our opponent isn't messing around here with the land with the you know, with the artifact hate. He just got unlucky that I milled 2 of them so far. And we even got the Nissa, because he could have played Nissa and then minus to get back a Rex Sage. So, well, that's a big hit. Do we take it? 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we take this one. No, we're not doing anything. Like I said, mono green's not going to be able to burn us out, and there's a reverse engineer. So time to go off. Tap, tap, tap. Pay 2 mana, draw 3. That's the Dynavolt Tower. Might as well play it out. Got another 6 there. I mean, our opponent's practically empty-handed. And yeah, so let's have another little gander at what's in their graveyard. So yeah, it looks like a very well, not really standard mono green deck, but looks like definitely mono green. Let's put it that way. And yeah, let's just make it so the AI doesn't even bother attacking us here. So it doesn't have to think, basically. Try and make it less likely to think. And now we will win the game here. I don't think Jace is just gonna seal it up here. We Jace plus, and then we have the fog, and then We have plenty of mana, so we try and dig into another draw spell. Maybe we can mill them out this turn, but it depends on what we draw. Tutelage is not going to do it, so might as well pass. There's Reverse Engineer, which will do it, so there we go. Good decision making from me. So like I said, this deck just tends to tear through our deck when things get nuts. There we go, 2 more fogs, and then cast it to assert dominance. Trying to for a minute there, I was trying to really think of any self-shuffle effects he could have had, but no. Our opponent is dead. So yeah, that's the fog deck. Like I said, it's either unwinnable or unlosable, and this was actually a pretty difficult matchup. But we just got lucky that we milled all his Rex Sages, so... yeah. Not too much to say. That was, like I said, another deck. And now we have one more, first time rank 40. Thank you all for your support. And now let's play the last one, which is Mono Blue Eldrazi. Now, this was a deck back in Oath of the Gatewatch season, which I loved a lot. And then I kind of thought, well, Bindarato's Mono Blue deck was doing pretty okay. Let's see if we can kind of update the version for Aether Revolt. And it's okay. It's not bad. It's just not good. It's kind of you get hands like that, and it's just like, well. And of course there's our obligatory sirens, because apparently I live in the roughest estate in the world, and I also just hit my mic there in pure frustration, and I also played the wrong land. So it was a 3-for-1 of disasters in one incredible turn there. But, and the worst thing about it is that we're going to get punished for it, because we don't have... okay, never mind, we're not going to get punished for it. I mean, it would be nice to have this Runes of Iron Reef out, but things happen. Things happen. Mistakes are made. You've got to fight through. That thing's going to die as soon as possible. Then we're going to Sky Spawner, Whirl Rogue, Runes of Iron Reef. Everyone will be fine. Yeah. So I like this deck. I do love the Colorless Eldrazi, the big 3. Thought Not See a Reality Smasher, and the other one. Thought Not See a Reality Smasher and Matter Reshaper. I do love them Eldrazi, and they're all fun to play. This should be quite interesting though, depending on how nuts our opponent's draw is. We have plenty of chump blockers, but if he has Trample, things could go wrong. Teema Energy. Deck I never really got. I kind of preferred the red-green versions, and yeah, nothing really more profound to say there. I think we can race. We're gonna... so we have to play the Whirl Rogue first main, because then we can make the Scion unblockable. And, I mean, Teema, if it was like green-red energy, I would absolutely not be trying to race here. But, as 3-color energy, it tends to be more based around like taking the game long and like going nuts and stuff like Whirl of Virtuosa and like Bristling Hydra and stuff like that, rather than stuff like the Hellion or Hellion. Our opponent did have perfect 3 mana, 3 basics, which is always nice to see. So I mean, yeah, missing out on this Runes of Iron Reef really hasn't cost us here. It would be on the field, but that's about it. Do we trade? I'm very tempted to actually. No, we'll see what he's got. See what he's got. Well, that is about worst case scenario. Tell you what would be a great draw, Endbringer. It's in the deck. It's in the deck somewhere, lurking. I think he's got an Essence Flux as well. This could get out of hand. Have we? Oh, we are drawing quite a bit of land. He makes 2 Thopters. They trade there and there. He Essence Fluxes, he makes more Thopters, but I mean, what are we doing to get around it basically? We could like... we could make like Whirl Rogue unblockable and then attack him with that, and then just try and hold the defense back. That might be the play. That might be the play. We have the Foundry as well. I mean, if attacking here, he just uses 6 energy. and then he just gets to trade two Thopters pretty comfortably. So I don't think there's any point suiciding in aggressively. We're getting 1 point of damage. I think it's right to just and like we can draw Westvale Abbey at any time, so trades generally aren't too good for us. Get in there, get in there. Yeah, so it turns out an army of 2/1s don't match up pretty well versus a World of Rotarosa. And yeah, our opponent trying to bait us out there, but we know what's going on. We know what's going on. We'll take our time. We'll draw our Westvale Abbey, and we'll just laugh maniacally as we crush our opponent from that point. But all is not lost. He only made 1 Thopter, which either means he's playing it safe or he's got another plan for that energy, both of which are pretty worrying. Aether Chaser, not too worried about. That's an aggressive card for this kind of version of energy. Never really liked it in this version. As an attack, we'll flash on you. We can give it hexproof and then we can block, and then he can't really get too tricky here. I will try and trade off with the... I mean, he's got Essence Flux. We know he's got Essence Flux, so we might as well... He's really struggling for when to use it, but I'm going to offer as a trade here. And then he either has to... Yeah, that seems right. That seems right. So now he has to either decide whether he wants to keep Rogue Refiner or he takes his trade, and he takes the trade. We know he's got Essence Flux. I've already decreed that. More land. This is pretty ridiculous now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've drawn a Rattle Chains this game, and I think more land. But it's not the end of the world. We have the Foundry of the Consoles, which can make a 2/2 flyer, which might be relevant on this board if we sacrifice the Siren, which isn't really relevant. So yeah, I'll pass the turn. Oop, no, we wanna keep with what we're doing here. And then we have, I mean, a 2/2 Thopter does manage to hold back all his, well, doesn't really hold them all back if he goes wide, but it can do a pretty good job. Just have to make sure my game taps right, and then, yeah, okay. He's got 6 energy, you can have 9 energy, you can make 3 Thopters if he has, with the Essence Flux, which we know he has. Like I said, we know he has this Essence Flux. I'm reading you like a book, Mr. Siappy24. Or Mrs. Siappy24, I guess by that avatar, we can't really tell. And now we will... Okay, here we go, time to get spicy. Yep, but even tapped right for his WoW. Now we will put the counter on you. And now... Our opponent's getting in pretty aggressively. He doesn't use the energy as expected. I think we just go bang. Keep 5 creatures in the field, and then... I guess we can trade and keep 5 creatures in the field. Seems right. Yeah, why not? Why not? Is there any reason to keep this Thopter out in case he has another removal spell? Yeah. We're not in a dire need to block now, maybe we can chump later or something. And because he's getting really aggressive, we do need a good draw. We do have plenty of good draws in our deck though. Reality Smasher, Thornotseer, Aether Meltdown. That's not cool. Maybe that was his combat trick instead of Essence Flux. But, I mean, I guess it's still an O2 blocker. There's a Volcanic Brawler. We might be in the situation where we stop trying to race now. And we do need some good draws though. We do have good draws in our deck, but we need to draw. Oh, I asked for it. Let's work out the damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. So we don't kill him. Even with the... Well, we need to use the colorless mana anyway, so... We kind of used our colorless mana up. But... I think we attack with Reality Smasher. He can't make enough creatures to block it. And then, we just hold back the fort here, hold back the team, and we can start making it unblockable eventually. If we can survive long enough, but with all these blockers it might be difficult for our opponent to punch through. You can make 2 more Thopters on end step, but then we have decent defenses. We can make some pretty awkward trades for our opponent. Maybe it's fair to keep the Reality Smasher back, but like if we draw Spatial Contortion, we have lethal. We do run all 3 in the deck, and I don't know. Like if we hold back his ground forces, but then he's going to beat us in the air. It's an interesting game, this. He does go all in here. He could just have, like, I don't know. Can't even think of any group pump spells, but he could have it. Brawl's expertise, but it'll probably just win him the game as well. He has been stuck on 4 lands, so we can assume his hand is pretty expensive. There's lots of scary stuff you could play. Confiscation Coup. That's another good one. He's going to copy our Reality Smasher, we're just dead here. Yep. Don't think we could have done too much about that. He should just absolutely alpha in here. And we will just desperately try and figure out if we have the blocks for it. I mean, he's got 9 trample. No, is this thing 1 or 2 energy? It is 1 energy, so you can even give it trample. Yeah. He's just doing the maths, but he does have lethal here, I do believe. We will do our best to block our way out of this, but we will have to see. So block 2. No, we'll keep you there. Block 2. Block 2. Block 1. Block 1. Block 1. And block 2. Let's see if we live. Oh. I generally... No, we're dead. Oh, we did live. Spatial Contortion for the win. Go. Now. I demand it. Oh, Aether Hub. Aether Hub, Aether Hub, Aether Hub. He was so close yet so far. That would have been sick if we'd drawn the Spatial Contortion. That would have been amazing. 1, 2, actually, I'm gonna count lands because I'm salty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 lands. Well, we flooded pretty hard. I'm not even gonna lie. But such is the case of the deck, and so close. Spatial Contortion would have been amazing. That would have made this game one of the best ever. Ah well, we live and learn. We live and learn. Oh, so close. So close. I'm really upset. Why is he playing Zahili, right? Just kill us, my friend. Just kill us. Well, I guess we got a card in hand. What could we have though? For blue mana? I mean, what could we even have? He's gonna copy a Reality Smasher, by the way, which is hilarious in its own right. Yeah, I don't blame him for that. Maybe there was maybe a spell that I could have had, so yeah. I don't blame my opponent for closing this one out. But maybe not attacking is bizarre. Just press the button. You can do it. I believe in you. There we go. We were close. We were very close. We timed it masterfully, so we lived on 1 life, expertly blocked. But sometimes you just get unlucky. Nah, it would have been great if we'd drawn the Spatial Contortion there, the second one. That would have been fun. But yeah, that's the 3 decks, 2 and 1, back down to 39. Get our quest though. That's all that matters. 5,000 gold. Still waiting for my gold from Wizards any second now. And yeah, so that was the 3 decks. I hope you enjoyed. It was kind of an interesting video. I'll maybe revisiting some older decks. I may try and brew something up. I have not decided yet, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.